Hello, if you've just joined us, welcome to the e-commerce master plan virtual summit. And if you're with me all afternoon, morning, night, depending on where you are in the world, yes, it's me again, and you are stuck with me through every single session, but I promise you that is a good thing. I'm Chloe Thomas, host of the e-commerce master plan and Keep Optimizing podcast, and author of several books on the subject of e-commerce too. Today, I will mainly be the host of this summit, which means it is down to me to make sure it's an event that gives you top quality and advice and ideas in every single session. I've worked with every one of our speakers to get the content absolutely spot on for you, and I'll be with you, as I said, in every single session to make sure we get the most out of all our speakers. Today, day one, is all about customer acquisition, and you can't talk about customer acquisition in e-commerce without talking about Google Ads and their gift, their beautiful gift to e-commerce stores, Google Shopping. My guest for this session is the excellent Becky Hopkin from Digital Gearbox. Those of you who follow the Keep Optimizing podcast will know she's recently been sharing the latest tips about display ads. And we used some of those very tips to drive the marketing for this event. So quite a few of you out there wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the work Becky and her team had done. How cool is that? Now, I also know, which some of you may not, I know just how good Becky is because back when I ran Digital Gearbox, Becky was someone who I hired to look after all our clients' marketing. And she did such a good job at that that a few years later, I sold her the agency. So I know just how good Becky is even, and I know you're going to love this session coming up and you're going to get a lot out of it. So let's get Becky up. So, because I think I've embarrassed her enough now. Hello, Becky. How are you doing?
Hi, Chloe. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right. You're not blushing too much?
No, it was a little rude, but I quickly found myself before you switched my camera on.
Awesome. Well, look, I know I'm excited to hear the latest Google Shopping because I still remain a frustrated person who doesn't get to play as much with Google Ads as they'd like to. And I'm sure the audience are interested in it too. So should we get straight into your slide deck?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, I will leave you to it.
Cool, thanks, Chloe. So, automated bidding for Google Shopping campaigns. So for the purpose of this presentation, I am focusing purely on Google Shopping campaigns. So smart bidding, automated bidding does cover other Google channels, but I'm just talking Google Shopping campaigns today. And if you're here and you're going, what are Google Shopping campaigns? Well, these are the product listing ads that you see at the top of the Google search engine results page or on the Google Shopping feed tab. If you're a e-commerce business and you're not already running Google Shopping campaigns, well, perhaps stop here. My number one tip is go check out Google Shopping ads. Google Shopping ads allow you to cut out the middleman and put your products directly in front of potential customers and then link them directly to the product page for your website to buy. They generally perform better than search ads for e-commerce businesses as you're able to pre-qualify your audiences before they click as they can see the product image and the price. As with traditional Google search ads, you only pay for when someone clicks on that ad. And traditionally, you set the price you are happy to pay for that click based on a product level or via product groups or campaigns. And then you see how that performs in terms of traffic and sales generation. But today, I want to talk to you all about utilizing automated bidding on Google Shopping campaigns. Now, it isn't a new thing. It's actually been around over 10 years, but it has become much smarter and much more effective over the past couple of years. And if it's not something you're testing at the moment, it's definitely time to add that to the list. Now, automated bidding takes the heavy lifting and guesswork out of setting bids to meet your performance goals. It uses advanced machine learning algorithms that train on data at a vast scale to help Google make more accurate predictions across your account about how different bid amounts might affect conversions. Now, these algorithms factor in a wide range of parameters that affect performance. Some of them are on the screen, and it's more than any single person or team could possibly compute. It includes attributes like device and location, which are available as manual bid adjustments, and you might be doing that already. But it includes additional signals and combinations of those exclusive to smart bidding. And it's all done at the auction, so it's a real time sensitive thing as well. Just a few example of signals in action. Google Ads can optimize bids based on how your product price compares to other advertisers who are participating in the auction at that time. So for example, your bids might be increased if you've got a really strong deal on a product at any time compared to other advertisers bidding on the same SKU. Google can also optimize bids based on similar product attributes across products. So for example, if you are a, let's go for an outdoor shop and you sell tents and you've been selling really well, you've got a high conversion rate on other tents and you add another tent to your range, Google will recognize that you generally sell pretty well on tents and they might adjust your bid based on that. So let's have a look at the different types of bidding strategies available. First up is enhanced cost per click, or ECPC as an acronym. And this basically can help increase conversions for manual bidding by adjusting your manual bid up or down based on the likelihood that it will result in a conversion. Now, this is the default bid strategy selected when you come up with a campaign, so you might already be doing it, but might not be particularly conscious that you are. And with that, you can choose to optimize those bids for conversions or for conversion value. You don't get to put a cap on these bids, though, like you can with other bidding strategies, but Google will try to maintain the same overall level of spend. Now, you do need to have conversion tracking set up to use this, and it will look for patterns of clicks and conversions and compare them with your past results and adjust the bids accordingly. Next up, there's target return on ad spend, or ROAS. And your target ROAS is the average conversion value you'd like to get for every pound that you spend on ads. So you enter that value as a percentage using the following formula, which is conversion value divided by ad spend times by 100. And that should be your target ROAS percentage. So if your goal is to get an average of £5 in sales for every pound you spend, your target ROAS would be 500%. Google Ads sets bid to try and achieve the average ROAS across all campaigns using this strategy. And some conversions may have a higher or lower return than that, but it's going to work to that overall figure that you put in. And then finally, there's maximize clicks. And with that, Google will automatically set bids to help you get as many possible clicks within your budget. You can set a cap on these bids when using this strategy, so you can protect yourself from paying more than you'd like to pay. And if you don't enter a CPC bid limit, that's fine. Google will just adjust your bid to try and get you as many clicks as possible within that budget. So why is this my big tip for this summit? You're here because you're looking for more ways to acquire more sales. Well, I've seen firsthand how testing automated bidding on shopping campaigns can do just that. So in this example on screen, one of our clients that sells home electrical goods, we switched to a campaign, which was segmented for laptops. Here you will see there was a 92% increase in sales following on from the introduction of target ROAS bidding. In this case, the uplift was just enough to also increase the average monthly ROAS from just under 13 to just under 15. That's not as a percentage, obviously. Another example, this is a client of ours that sells low value accessories to build. They do little microcomputer kits. For this account, we run the whole account to a target ROAS of 10, but you'll see we were struggling to get the results in one of their broader shopping campaigns that housed a range of less popular brands that they stocked. Here we switched up the bidding to utilize target ROAS and saw an impressive 171% increase in conversions and triple the revenue. And with that, we were able to bring the ROAS way above the target. Now, these are two of our best examples of how automated bidding can make a huge difference to a campaign. But it is worth noting that often the target ROAS largely just kind of continues as it was previously. But what we did see across most campaigns was an increase in overall sales. I do want to make it clear that we have also seen automated bidding not work for certain accounts and certain campaigns. It can negatively impact things. But unless you test it, you won't know if it could positively impact your campaigns. So just some of the key benefits of automated bidding. Well, providing you can get your campaign running at a similar ROAS, the real benefits of automated bidding is the time it can save you that was previously spent twiddling with those bids day in, day out. Instead, you can focus on high-level goals and allow smart bidding to set the right bids for you. Whether you're trying to drive more visitors to your site or more revenue to your business, automated bidding allows you to start concentrating on the overall performance of your campaign. Your campaign's historical performance and future goals are always taken into account. You just enter your performance goals to meet, and the automated strategy will respond in real time, accounting for your campaign's past click or conversion data. And finally, just as I've shown with the last couple of examples, it really can lead to improved acquisition rates, which is what we're focusing on today. So my top tips for testing automated bidding. Number one is check your conversion tracking is set up correctly. So you want to make sure that it's tracking conversions accurately and that you're tracking the key goal that you're working towards. And make sure that you're not just leaving any old conversion tracking switched on, like anything that's measuring page views or anything that's not valuable. You can switch those non-essential conversions off. The reason being that Google will only optimize to the conversions that you are choosing to count as a conversion. Make sure you understand and consider your conversion attribution windows as well. And this is really important as you may need to account for conversion delays. So if you've got a longer sales window, some conversions can take more time than others, and it can take days or even weeks to gather the data and for Google to pick up that sale from when they first click. So don't necessarily compare recent performance with past performance. If you've got a longer sales duration, you might want to look at the results maybe a month afterwards because of that conversion delay. Now, whilst Google says even new campaigns without data of their own may see an increased performance from past activity without any conversion tracking, we recommend that you gather some initial data for Google to work with first. Now, Google does recommend measuring performance over a period where you've got at least 30 conversions before you switch to smart bidding. And for target ROAS, they say 50 conversions. So you want to have some data in there before you switch your campaigns over to a automated bidding strategy if possible. Next thing up is to make sure you set your campaigns up with the end goals in mind. So if you've got different targets for different brands that you sell or different product groupings, you want to have dedicated campaigns in your account to allow Google to optimize to the different goals that you have for them. So don't just have one shopping campaign with everything in. If you've got different things that you have different targets for, you've got to segment them out. So if you've got higher value products as well for the target, for the maximized clicks, and you don't want to pay more than 5p a click on a lower value product, you need to make sure that that campaign is segmented out to allow you to do that. Next up, give the campaigns enough time to learn and optimize. Now, Google recommends a minimum of 15 days. To be honest, we'd suggest a month. It is a bit scary, and I'd also really recommend that you consider reviewing your data weekly opposed to daily, especially if there's little traffic, because you will see your cost per click go up and down, and it is scary. But Google might be making certain savings to make sure that they optimize when a conversion is more likely later on in the month. Or they might be reducing bids for clicks that just simply aren't meeting your target. So you'll see some strange things, but you've got to leave Google to optimize and give the campaigns time to configurate. And also consider that a number of factors may affect your results over a period of time. Your results might be affected by holidays, weekends, special events, changes to your feed, or new competitors in the auction. So if you have tried some bidding strategies, automated bidding strategies before, and it hasn't worked, it is worth perhaps revisiting at a different time, and make sure that you're not going into testing automated bidding at these key times. So don't wait till Black Friday and do it, because it's not going to give you valid data. And that's it. That's our key tips. You can find us at digitalgearbox.co.uk, and you can see a number of the clients that we've worked with there. As a part of being an e-commerce master plan crew member, we do offer a free account audit for anyone that's running any Google Ads activity. If you'd like to book them, one of them, then do scan the QR code to book that. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, everybody, losing the link to add myself back in there.
It's all
You'd
right.
have thought I'd have worked it out, wouldn't you? But there we go. Becky, that was excellent. Thank you. And I just say for anyone who's going, the crew, what's the e-commerce master plan crew? I'll quickly explain that. So we have a huge audience here at e-commerce master plan, and I do not have the bandwidth to help everybody. So what I've done this year is I've picked the best people out there to help you run your marketing, and Becky and her team at Digital Gearbox are one of our crew members, and each of them has, or if you go to the URL or scan the QR code that Becky just had on screen there, and you'll find out a bit more about each of them and how they can help you. So it's kind of an extra level of endorsement from me and from everything we do here at e-commerce master plan, but also so there's some great ways for you guys to get help and take your marketing to another level with them. So that's the crew. Becky, that was an excellent rundown of all the different layers of this. I've got a couple of scenarios I want to walk through with you just to make it really clear for those listening to know what they need to do next. So let's go. First of all, let's go through someone who's brand new to Google Shopping and what their
Yeah.
approach should be, and then
Yeah.
let's go through someone who's already got it up and running. I think because
Okay.
it seems like there's some quite clear steps for each of them, especially with those warnings you were giving about when to and not to turn it
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I said we do new first, didn't I? So
Yeah. Yeah.
for someone who's never done it before, and they're going, wow, I'd always wondered how I was going to get my products to appear there on Google Shopping. How do they start?
Sure. So you need your product feed logged into the Google Merchant Center to begin with. And that's kind of a halfway house between your website and the Google Ads platform. So it will house your products. It will make sure they're compliant and follow all of Google's little requests that they have for advertisers. And with that, you link it to a campaign that you set up in the Google Ads interface, and you tell Google to show those ads. Now, for new people, it kind of depends how many SKUs you've got with how I'd recommend starting. If you've only got a couple, one campaign is fine. If you've got lots and lots and lots, you're going to want to segment them, like I said. And you might even want to segment them if you've got a small amount of SKUs, if they're vastly different. If you're selling £1 socks and £1,000 diamonds, you're going to want to have them in separate campaigns. It'd be a very strange site. I'm curious to see this website that sells £1 socks and £1,000 diamonds, but you are out there, I'm sure.
I've got a little side question to
Oh,
jam
go
in
on.
there, Becky. Given if we're handing over the bidding to Google, do we still need to segment? Is it still worth doing it, or is there an argument that, well, if you're trusting the algorithm, just give them all the products and go with it?
It depends what the target is for each of those products. So if you've got a target ROAS that's going to be different for those different products because of your margins, then you're going to need to segment them out. If it's the same site-wise, then maybe not. But there's going to be some seasonal differences, possibly on your stock range. So you don't want to over segment things, because you can give Google some control, but the more you can be segmented, I think the more you can look at the data and make sense of it. So
Especially if those profit margins are
yeah,
differing in there.
if
Okay.
profit margins are different, you want to segment. That's really kind of key.
Okay,
Those are
cool.
the terms
So
there.
let's get away from my side question, and we'll go
Yeah.
back to the main ones. So the
Yeah.
new guys get their product feed sorted out, get their campaign running with or without segmentation,
Yeah.
and then how long is it before they can go automated bidding, do your thing?
Really depends on how many conversions they're bringing in off the bat, and that will probably depend on how much money they're chucking at it to begin with as well. And your own conversion rate. So if you're a couple of days in and you've got over 30 or 50 conversions, you can switch straight to it. I mean, kind of 50 conversions is the sweet spot for target ROAS. So wait for that sweet spot and then turn it on. If you're desperate to get going before that, then the enhanced CPC is a good way to do it, just to give Google some control. But I always like to have some base data without any automation first, if I was going for it.
Okay.
So wait
Cool.
for the 50 to come in, and that depends on how long it's going to take you to get 50.
Yes, that could be a day or it could be a much longer period of time. Okay.
Yeah.
So then let's flip it to those who already have their Google Shopping campaigns running. They've
Yeah.
already driven 50 conversions. What are their steps to take advantage of this, the automated ROAS performance?
So you want to, annoyingly with Google Shopping, you don't have the experiment feature that you get for search and display campaigns. So you can't create an experiment campaign where you've got your original campaign running against a new campaign. Very annoying. But because you want to lean on the data you've already collected, you just want to switch over your existing campaign. You just want to change that setting in the existing campaign to the automated bidding strategy of choice. Now, we tend to lean more on target ROAS than maximize clicks, but you might want to use maximize clicks if you're not getting any sales. So actually going back to the newbies, you might want to try maximize clicks for a period if you've been going for a month and you haven't got enough conversions to try and get some conversion data. So that is a route that you might do automated bidding sooner rather than later. But for the target ROAS approach, you want to factor in, do we need to segment further before you do it? And then just switch it over. It's fairly simple to do, fairly painless.
And then in either scenario, when you switch over to the target ROAS, just look at it every week because it's going to yo-yo a little bit to start off with.
Yep.
Okay, very
And,
cool.
and hold on to your chair. Trust in it. If by a month in, like as I say, a month is really not working, then stop. But if it's yo-yoing, if you're seeing potential, give it some more time. Make sure you're looking at the right metrics. So don't go, oh, it's costing me double the CPC. If you're still getting the same ROAS or you're getting more sales, just remember what the end goal is. So don't get hung up on those vanity metrics. And again, if you see clicks go down, as long as you're getting more sales and better returns, that is what it is optimizing towards. So don't panic if it's changing other things that were previously better.
And you mentioned multiple times, both in the presentation and since, the automated bid strategy that is maximize clicks. When are the times when we should consider using that, just for clarity's sake with everybody?
If it's not getting enough conversion data, because that is the only one that isn't reliant on conversion data, it's a good thing to use. But I would have a look at your search impression share there and make sure you're not already getting all the traffic that's out there for that product. Because if that's already at 100% or really high, then throwing more money at it isn't going to do anything. If you're already penetrating all the traffic there is out there, it's not going to help.
So it's kind of like a booster strategy. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Let's go for max clicks. Last ditch attempt. Will it, won't it? And then we might just have to go, this is just going to take over. Okay. My last question on the subject then is, and you kind of covered this towards the end of your session, but I just wanted to really understand it, is this more about maximizing sales or more about saving the time and effort it takes to do all the bidding? Because to do proper optimization, it's a daily task if you want to do it right. So is this more about saving the time than time loss? You understand what I'm trying to ask, so I'll let you answer it.
It's about both, because inherently, if you're saving time, you can focus your efforts on other activity that's going to drive more sales. If, like I say, if you switch to a target ROAS and you're still getting the same results, it's freeing up your time to do other stuff. If you switch and it improves your results, happy days. And as I've shown, it can dramatically increase things. So it's worth testing.
Excellent. I like it. But I just wanted to make sure everyone out there's getting the fact it's both about time saving, or for those of you out there who are doing no optimization on your Google Shopping, it's doing the job you should be doing. But that's a rant that I could go on for the rest of the afternoon. So we won't do that. Becky, could you just remind everyone where they can find you if they want to find out a bit more? Because you're offering them the opportunity to literally jump on a call with you and look at this with them and get that one-on-one perspective, aren't you?
Yep. So you can find us on the e-commerce master plan crew, the nice URL there. Or you can visit us directly at Digital Gearbox. We're also on all the social channels at Digital Gearbox again. So easy to find. You can find me on LinkedIn at Becky Hopkin.
Marvelous. Well, Becky, thank you so much for joining us and for giving such a clear explanation of a really techy but powerful part of e-commerce. It's been brilliant having you on the summit. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Always so good to get to talk Google Ads again, even if my active knowledge of it is starting to fade a little bit these days. So much has been changed. So it's really good to get that insight from Becky on exactly what the opportunities are right now. If you've enjoyed Becky's session, please do share it on social media. The buttons are right in front of you. Or you can, of course, invite your team to watch later. If you're thinking one of them really needs to see this, then now's the time to tell them about it, because the replays are available for every single session in this event. So nothing's stopping them from tuning in and watching. On the right of this page, you can download the slide deck Becky went through, and you will also find the link to book one of those free consultations with Becky that we're making available as part of our e-commerce master plan crew piece. Via that link, if you're intrigued about that, you'll also find more details about the crew. Now, we are also producing an ebook of the summit that will be available by Thursday. We're going to email it out to you if you're watching live, or if you're watching on replay, it should be available right now. It includes my team's notes on each session with screen grabs of key slides, any resources or offers mentioned, and my recommendations on where to go to learn more if this has whetted your appetite. So that ebook's coming up very soon, or available now if you're watching on replay. If you enjoyed this session with Becky, then make sure you also check out our 2 Facebook ad sessions coming up later on today with Dave Rotherow and John Hagan. You're going to be ad crazy by the time you get to the end of today. And of course, stay tuned, because up next, we have another member of the e-commerce master plan crew, and that is Luke Carthy. He's getting all CRO and SEO on us as we talk faceted navigation. To find that, head back to agenda, click on the session, and it will be starting on the o'clock. And do not forget, we've got our live Q&A panel coming up at the end of today's content, so bring your questions along then. Right, I will see you in the next session.
You have a product you're passionate about, and now's the time to grow your online sales. Klaviyo can help. Klaviyo is the ultimate marketing platform for growing online sales. Build higher value customer relationships using email automation, SMS marketing, and list growth tools. Turn your dream into a reality with a free Klaviyo account.